Now, this week's Bank of America Higher Standards moment.
Jimmy Johnson on the outside, side by side, and down to the stripe. Jimmy Johnson will win by a half a car length.
That's right, my house! Woo-hoo-hoo!
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our.
And because of the length of the football game, didn't have time to bring you the Bank of America countdown to green, but we'll be back with that next week when we all head to Martinsville. And our thanks to our friends at Bank of America. On board with Jimmy Johnson. Won the last 3 races here for the last 5. Race fans, visit LowesRacing.com today for your chance to win up to $48,000 in the When Jimmy Wins, You Win sweepstakes. Just visit LowesRacing.com for more details.
You know, a little bit concerned about the leader there, Elliott Sadler. When he came out of the pits, he was pushing water out of the overflow, which Dave mentioned as well, which means obviously it was hot. The engine was running hot. That's pretty early to be running hot, Dave.
I'm still scrambling for some answers, Wally. Is it possible when you overfill that it can overflow like that? Because that's the first answer I got, but they might be being cryptic. I don't know.
Yeah, that is possible. Yep.
Yes, I mean, their water is going to expand when it gets so hot, and if it's too full, it's going to come out the overflow.
Ryan Newman, who was the lucky dog, restarted 40th. Jeremy Mayfield, one of the chasers, back in 39th. Jimmy Johnson, 18th after starting 41st.
This is intense stuff right here, boy. On the restarts, cars are side by side, and guys are really having to be careful.
Junior in the 8. Kyle Busch in that 5-car update from Matt.
He learned a lot in the Busch race last night, Bill, but a mechanical issue didn't allow him to run all the way to the conclusion. So he didn't learn all that he wanted, but he did learn one thing: how hard you can push your tires early on. He is flying. As you can see, he has moved up about 1.5 lanes, preferring to run the high side right now.
And speaking of pushing, looked like Earnhardt Jr. was pushing the back of the 16. Yeah, I mean, you can have a fast car, you just can't make the pass on the bottom. And now Junior's going to lose a couple of spots because he's down on the bottom.
Dave Blaney going by. Jamie McMurray in the 42 car. There's Blaney in the 07 on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And Junior's still on the bottom of the racetrack. And you just simply can't go up and run into someone and knock them out of the way, because they're also going to crash you.
The Junior lost about 3 or 4 spots, and he was actually trying to make a pass on Busch or Biffle.
Battle for 6th position between Joe Nemechek, 01, and Jeff Gordon, 24. Gordon's looking real racy tonight.
It just doesn't say, I mean, he hasn't been able to pull out the pass down on the bottom unless the guy on the high side gives him a break like Nemechek just did getting into turn 3.
But look at Nemechek come back on that high groove.
Allen.
Well, the right rear tire that just came off Joe Nemechek's car, Bill, blisters on it as we see a change for second place. Kurt Busch by Tony Stewart. Joe told me before the race he was going to be extremely cautious tonight. He thought this was going to be a survival contest.
And he might be right, Alan. We'll see as this plays out. Long way to go. Matt on Mark.
Lost a little bit of time, Bill, on his pit stop. Some lugs fell off when they were changing the right rear tire. Mark was concerned about the possible blistering issues. Pat Tryson told him, we had one small blister on our car, the 97 of Busch. They had a blister, but as you can see, the car behind him, the 16 Snyder, that's what Mark was also concerned about. What did their tires look like?
Well, about 6 laps before the mandatory caution, Matty came on the radio, Greg Biffle, and said, you know what, we have a tire going down on the right side. They said, you know, back off, save it until the mandatory caution. We'll see what happened. Indeed, the right rear tire was chunked and blistered, and it was losing air pressure. Well-timed mandatory caution for Greg Biffle in that 16 car.
Well, I'll tell you what, BB, that's not good, because in another 30 or 35 laps, if we don't have a caution, we're going to see guys starting to have tire problems and get into the wall.
And these cars can run 60, 70 laps on fuel, so fuel is not an issue, but that's why we're going to see so many caution flags tonight, is because of a tire problem. Matt?
BP, and that was Mark Martin's big concern as well, because during final practice, tire issues, they didn't surface. They were planning on making this car a good long-run car, and it was very stout. But Mark is concerned if we have a lot of cautions, he could really be at a hindrance trying to get that car up to the front.
Elliott Sadler up front, got the Budweiser Pole Award, his 4th pole of 2005. We'll see him in the Bud Shootout when we get to Daytona in 2006. Sadler leads Busch, Stewart, Bobby Labonte, and Casey Mears at Charlotte.
NASCAR Nextel Cup Racing from Lowe's Motor Speedway, presented by the Principal Financial Group, is brought to you by Principal Financial Group. We'll give you an edge. By Subway Restaurants and the American Red Cross. Together we can help. By Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, where improving home improvement never ends. And by Wrangler, makers of Wrangler Jeans Company, a new generation of Wrangler.
Dismal second half of the season continues for former series champion Jeff Gordon. Just got hard into the wall and is being pushed back to the garage.
These guys are racing off before, and BP, we talked about it. They're racing close. They lose the air off their car, and that looks like what happened to Gordon. He just started sliding up the racetrack. There was no downforce on his car, running close to Bobby Labonte. Couldn't turn it.
And you can see a lot of damage to that car. It also broke the brake rotor. Anytime that right front tire hits the wall that hard, it breaks the rotor so that he has no brakes.
Gordon won the Daytona 500, has 3 wins this season, but has struggled since the 1st of May. Got a 10th place finish last week, but a disappointing season for him continues tonight here at Lowe's, where he is a 4-time winner. Elliott Sadler up front, started on the pole, has led 26 of the 51 laps. And he ran the Busch race here last night and had a very strong car in that race.
You know, his crew chief, Todd Parrott, I don't know, 3 or 4 races ago, the owners decided to take him and put him over with Dale Jarrett, the 88 car. And they upgraded the engineer, Kevin Buskirk, to crew chief, interim crew chief for this 38 car. And I keep telling Kevin, you're going to work yourself into a job if you aren't careful. That's crew chief. And I'm not a crew chief. I'm just filling in till we get one. Well, he's doing a great job filling in.
Our AutoZone in the zone drivers this season: Rusty Wallace, Greg Biffle, Carl Edwards, 3 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Edwards has had a spectacular season in his first full year in the Nextel Cup Series. Joined this race in progress a year ago after running the truck race in Texas. Got here late. Had to put Dave Blaney in the car to get it started. Let's get a report from Dave Burns back in the garage.
The 24 car has been pushed all the way back here now to the garage area by his crew. They will go to work on the right side. You guys mentioned the right front brake rotor was broken. They asked if they wanted the entire assembly from the right front. They may go get that as well. All the way back to the garage, they were discussing how the car was handling, and crew chief Steve Letarte ended the conversation by saying, "This is great information. We will be fast at Texas." We'll try to get a word from Jeff when he hops out of the car.
Thanks, Dave. Gordon not in the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship, but is in that battle to try and finish 11th in the championship standings. Get back out, get some more points, but this will really hurt those chances.
Every position that he can gain from where he is now till the end of the race, 3 points per position. He can pick up 10 spots. That's 30 points. And with all we saw last night, 10 spots, it could be easy.
So those guys will work hard in the garage to try and get Jeff back out on the track. He'll have to meet the minimum speed. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson started 41st, has worked his way to 13th, now 12th.
Wow.
Marty, how about those guys?
Well, as we talked about, the car was tight, meaning it doesn't want to turn. So when they came down pit road, they pulled a spring rubber from the left rear spring. That should loosen Jimmy's car up. He took on 4 tires, but when they pulled him off, the right rear was fairly severely blistered. They radioed that information to Jimmy, and he said, you know what? I want to go up on all the air pressures if we can do that. And a lot of teams have talked about keeping more air pressure in the tires than they normally do. Jimmy said, I want to do that on our next stop.
Evidently, he's starting to feel something in this 48 car now, because he's starting to back up. He waved the 15 car, Michael Walter, by.
Michael, go ahead, Bobby.
I was just going to say, if you're already loose, when a car gets up behind you, it makes it 10 times as loose. So If he's in that position, you point him by, let him go. This way you get more clean air on your car to help push it in the racetrack.
And he had a really hard hit here last night, so if he feels something in that car, he's probably going to think twice about it a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to think twice about it. I think definitely you got to
wait. I can run harder, but wait till I get my next progress report here.
There you go. Yeah. I could go harder, but let's check the tires one more time, see how they're doing before I try that.
Got to listen to your butt, Bill.
Yes, you do, sir.
Especially around this racetrack, you're going so fast. If you feel something wrong with that race car at these speeds, you know it's telling you something. You don't second guess it.
And I tell you what, Tony Stewart, after they run about 25 laps, he is just so much faster. His car just keeps getting faster and faster versus the competition.